everybody, today we're talking about Booster Gold 52 pickup. Hey everybody, welcome back to BK's Bullets. I'm your host, Brent as always, and today we're going to be doing an overview of this new reprint trade paperback Booster Gold 52 pickup. How do I know it's a reprint? Well, it's got the more recent DC logo on it, and it's been out of print for so long, I pre-ordered it, and it came the other week. So, I was kind of hoping, honestly, that this would be a 12-issue trade paperback, like a new version, but instead, no, it's just a reprint of Volume 1, which means I have to wait and see if they're going to do Volume 2, or if I have to go find that elsewhere in comic book stores. As this is only the first two issues of the second volume of the Booster Gold series, written by Jeff Johns. I believe it's also Jeff Katz. Yep, different J. Different Jeff, drawn by Dan Jurgens and inks by Norm Rapman. So, if you didn't know, 52 pickup takes place after the events of 52. So if you have not read Infinite Crisis or 52, do not pick this book up as you will be lost. Also, of note, Dan Jurgens, legendary artist, drew The Death of Superman, but also invented, wrote, and drew the first appearance, came up with the whole idea of the character himself, the sole creator of Booster Gold, Dan Jurgens right there. So it is only fitting for him to be drawing this book. Again, this came out over 10 years ago, after 52, so you're talking 2007, 2008, that time frame. There you go. Yeah, copyright 2007, 2008. Awesome. Nailed it. Colors by Hi-Fi, who I think usually colored Dan Jurgens. So you get a little introduction here, and it's got some dual covers for the first two issues with Art Adams doing the 1B cover. So yeah, this kind of takes place after 52, and Booster Gold series here runs from issue number 1 through 6 is it in this trade paperback. I think it goes to like 26 or 32 issues, and then it ends, and then you have Dan Jurgens hopping on to the what's it called? The Vanishing Point storyline, where they're searching for Batman with the events of Batman R.I.P. But here you have Booster Gold teaming up with Rip Hunter, going on adventures in the timeline, trying to clean up in running around the multiverse after it expanded and kind of contracted in the events of 52. You got the character of Supernova here, who Booster Gold had some interaction with in the 52 storyline. We won't get into that, exactly who he is in that storyline, but there is someone else here playing as Supernova in this book as well. So you have Rip Hunter, Time Master. And the big thing about the comics in these days is anytime you saw Rip Hunter's lab, there was a chalkboard. And on that chalkboard were hints or clues about future storylines in that particular book or the overall DCU. Gog is dead. The Age of Gog. At this time, Jeff Johns was writing Justice Society of America, or about to. So this is kind of hearkening to that Kingdom Come storyline he started up in that book. Who Will Escape the Book of Destiny, Lightning Saga, Strike Twice. The Lightning Saga is a reference to the review we just did on Justice League of America, which was the crossover with Justice Society, where they brought back Wally West, The Flash. The Lightning Saga was the name of that storyline. Who else we got here? The Ghost Detective, Have All the Answers, Wildebeest Society, all sorts of stuff. Some of the stuff didn't even matter, honestly. Death of the Superman. What did that from? I don't remember. The Vigilante. Again, some of these are like, they go nowhere. Others, they do go places. Yeah, so you got the Omax in here. And if you know the Omax, you know those are the things that killed the original Blue Beetle. Ted Kord, this character right here. You got also Dan Garrett. So this is a time travel thing. You got Maxwell Lord, who's also supposed to be dead at this time. And you have the resurrection of, I guess, Ted Kord. You got new Blue Beetle, Jaime Reyes, and the Black Beetle character. So yeah, the Black Beetle we talked about in the previous video, where we're talking about like the reading order of Jaime Reyes. So there's some crossover here, as when Blue Beetle's original series ends with issue number 36, he kind of goes into this same Booster Gold series as backup tales with an adventure against Black Beetle, and all that stuff is collected in his final volume. What is it called for that series? I think it's called Black and Blue, if I'm looking at my shelf correctly. So those backups are collected in there. So it kind of crosses over here with the Booster Gold storyline. Here's a great issue. I really like this issue. It's Booster Gold trying to go back to the Killing Joke and stop that from happening with Barbara Gordon. And there's some things in here where you kind of learn that, like, you know, time in the DC universe is kind of a fixed point. Some things do actually have to happen. So this is Booster trying to go back into different places and trying to stop things from happening in the DC universe history. So if you know your DC universe history, this book is a whole lot of fun, especially from 10, 20 years ago. That kind of things. You got Guy Gardner, you have Sinestro, who's the first Green Lantern picked, all sorts of shenanigans. Booster is one of the better characters because he's so well-meaning, but he gets into so much trouble that it's just fun to watch him squirm and find his way out of the situations that he puts himself in. So that's a whole lot of fun. So am I bummed that this is the first 6 issues only and not the full 12 that Jeff Johns and Jeff Katz did? Absolutely. But I'm hoping they reprint Volume 2. This one was obviously reprinted because of the announcement of the Booster Gold TV show that's coming to, I guess, Max, whatever the new HBO Max is called, from the DC Universe, from the Jeff Gunn-verse. But this is reprinted to give everybody an idea of what that is going to be about. So I don't know if that will be bopping around the different multiverses of, like, you know, Flash or the CW verse or the Titans verse. That would be interesting for that TV show, or if it's just going to be like Booster Gold's first appearance. But that's why this was reprinted. This is the most recent Booster Gold series that you could pick up. I had a lot of fun reading this. I would recommend it, but if you're not well versed in DC continuity or history, you might get a little lost with this volume. So just a fair warning. But if you do pick it up and you do enjoy it and you're not well versed in that stuff, you have places to go. Go pick up The Killing Joke. Go pick up OMAC Project. Go read these first appearances by these characters, that sort of stuff. It's fun. Get a little bit of an origin here in the front of where Booster Gold came from, what his deal is. That's all there. Again, Dan Jurgens in his prime, doing the drawing. Fantastic, fantastic art. I gotta say, I had read Death of Superman prior to reading this when this book originally came out, and I picked this up in single issues back in the day. I've since sold them, they're long gone. But I gotta say, man, reading this Booster Gold series made me appreciate Dan Jurgens as an artist. I really fell in love with Dan Jurgens reading this Booster Gold series because you could just tell how much fun he was having just drawing his character that he came up with back in the 80s. And it's a beautiful, beautiful book. So, yeah, whole lot of fun here. So, Booster Gold, go pick it up. 52 pick up the reprint. We'll see you guys next time in the Funny Pages.